looking for any trouble areas. And then coming on over and doing the same on the other side. In between sides, I like to come up and just kind of love on the neck for a minute. Just give it some extra attention. And then start the process all over. So an open fist down the back. For these more friction movements, you don't need quite as much oil because you want to get a good grip so you can really elongate the muscle. And then come about mid-back with the elbow, just the flat part of the elbow, not the point. And work down from the mid-back, around the tailbone or the sacrum, making sure not to run over it because that's not comfortable. And then back up the entire length of the back. You can also use your forearm to kind of hold the sacrum and also create length in the muscles. And once you've made it back to the top, again, I'm going to take my arm, I'm going to kind of nestle it right in the curve of her neck and pull her shoulder down with my elbow and my forearm. And come in right in between the spine and the shoulder blade with my elbow, moving slowly, feeling the muscles underneath and coming around back to the starting position. And really just do this as many times as you feel necessary, paying attention to the needs of your partner. And so once I finish that, I'm going to take my thumb, resting right on top of the trapezius muscle, right on top of the shoulder blade, cupping the shoulder blade in my other hand, pushing the two against one another. And then again, just starting right at the base of the neck. Supported thumbs, pulling those erector muscles away from the spine. Sawing, pulling. Feeling for knots. Making sure to breathe, making sure your client's breathing. And then again, about mid-back, coming in with the fingertips, doing kind of a circular pulling. You're kind of getting sawing and pulling in this circular movement because you're coming parallel with the spine and then pulling away in that circle. And definitely notice some low back tension right over here. And again, once I'm finished with that, I'm going to come back up to the neck and focus here some more. It does seem to be that a lot of people hold a lot of their tension right here, the base of the neck, and then the upper shoulders, the mid back, really the whole back. It's hard to separate them because we are a whole person. I'm going to do some rhomboid raking. I'm taking my fingers, kind of doing this up and down movement just right along the scapula, the border of the scapula, kind of letting all those muscles roll under your fingers. And at this point, now that I've warm the tissue up sufficiently with the elbow and the fingertips, I can kind of come in with some more pressure, especially where I feel it needs to be applied. Now I'm going to focus on the scapula themselves. So once I've got my oil, I'm going to start at the very tip of the scapula with both my thumbs. I'm going to kind of rake downwards, down to the shoulder, the deltoid. Two, or probably about 3 passes. You can even come up, starting from the shoulder and then up to the tip of the scapula. Just addressing all those muscles right on top. Next, I'm going to come in right from the border of the scapula. I'm going to work my way out. We have been working from the spine out, and now we're going to work from the scapula towards the spine. I've definitely felt some headaches right in these spots right here. It's a nice area to address. So I do downward pressure first and then outwards. So melt into the muscle, give your fingers some time to sink in, and then pull away. It's nice too to come from the shoulder and work up the neck, instead of always working from down the neck, down the back. You can work up the neck as well. Right up to those little tiny occipital muscles right at the base of the skull. Even doing maybe more of a flat hand, just kind of sweeping across that curve of the neck. and then coming along to the other side and evening it out. So I'm going to start right at the base of the scapula. I'm going to trace my thumbs down to the outside of the shoulder. And then coming from the border of the scapula, kind of pulling the muscles away, my supported thumbs. Working around the perimeter. Making sure to melt in, spend any time. Sometimes it's good just to wait just a moment and see if you'll get any muscle releases. There's this phenomenon called kriyas. It's like little tiny muscle twitches, and it's a working sign showing that the muscles are releasing and tension is being dispersed into the atmosphere. So again, I'm going to begin to just kind of work up the neck from the top of the shoulder, making it feel long. Making sure not to neglect this little curve right here, because this little curve, I mean, it's holding up your skull. It's a heavy, there's a lot of thinking that goes on in there. Creating length, making sure not to neglect this little curve.